Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Let's Play. We're going to be playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. For some reason it doesn't say Bloodlines. We're going to be running on the unofficial 9.8 basic patch, because that's what I saw that would look like it was recommended. I played this game for about 90 minutes before, never actually got through a full playthrough. I've watched a Let's Play of this once, so I kinda know the basic story, but I mostly forgot a lot of it. So we're going to be getting into it here. There's going to be a lot of time getting into the character creation, so just so you know what you're getting into here. So let's get started into a new game. Now, I've never really gotten too much into character creation in this game before. I spent a lot of time in games like Knights of the Old Republic, Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to go directly to the character sheet because I don't trust this thing more than I trust... that'd be rather rude to say, but... I was gonna say I trust this about as much as an idiot with a potato gun, so I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with number 2 here. Go directly to the character screen and make my own. Now, for those who have never played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, you get a choice between a good amount of different clans. Each one has different pluses and minuses. The Bruja, your kind of typical meleeers. They can run in, take a decent amount of damage. Their big negative is they have a -2 check to frenzy, which from what I understand means you can lose control of your character, and bad things can happen if you're in a safe place, meaning these right here are your masquerade points. They go to 0, you automatically lose the game. If your humanity gets too low or your blood count gets too low, you can frenzy, and if you're in a place with humans, this could go bye-bye really quickly. But from what I understand, again, if you keep your humanity high and your blood high, usually you won't frenzy too often. So yeah, that's their big thing. They also get a +1 to unarmed. Gangrel, are kind of the same thing, except they focus more on actually frenzying. They have a -1 frenzy check, but when they do, they get a lot of strength, stamina, and wits. So I guess you kind of build your character around frenzying. I don't know. I don't even know how a Gangrel build would work. Malkavian, that was the one Let's Play I watched, was about a Malkavian run. From what I remember, the dialogue was off the wall, and seemed to kind of foreshadow things if you knew what in the world's going on. I didn't, so it was kind of funny to read. They also get points in inspection, which, from what I gather, is kind of useless. Because it just like makes things that you can look at in the world just kind of sparkle, which if you look around anyway, you probably already find anyway. Now, the one thing they do get is dementation, I think is what it's called. One of their, I don't want to say spells, but one of their talents, where I think at level 3 you can instantly kill humans. And that's kind of neat. Nosferatu, I shouldn't have to tell you what in the world their big negative is. They're ugly as shit. And because of that, if they get seen by humans, they lose a masquerade point, so you really have to be stealthy and waltz around in the sewers. On the plus side, they can feed from rats and gain extra blood from them, and they don't run away, so it's a lot easier. I'm not going to be playing a Nosferatu. I'll just tell you now, stealth is not my prerogative. Toreador are kind of like the... Excuse me again, they're kind of the taking everything to the extreme. If you normally would gain 1 humanity from a choice, you gain 2. If you lose 1, you lose 2. So yeah, that's their big thing. Tremere, I think, are supposed to be like mage characters. They can't raise their physical, I think, above 4? Something like that. Yeah, they can raise no physical attribute above 4 points. But they do gain blood magic. I'm not going to be playing a Tremere. I'm not a mage character kind of guy. You should know that. Venture, from what I understand, are kind of like social characters. Though I don't think they're a slouch in combat either, but they do have dominate, I think. But the big negative is they can't feed on animals, and they could vomit if they feed from prostitutes or, dirty people, essentially, homeless. I'm not going to be playing a Ventrue. You might have gathered, I'm going to be playing a Bruja because this is basically my real first character. And, I'm kind of I'm going to run at you kind of guy and beat your brains in. So, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to... I'm not naming him unnamed. No. I have no idea what I should name this character. We'll go with... I have no idea what would be an appropriate name for a Bruja. Oh damn, the hardest enemy in the entire game, naming a character. For me. Yes. I took all that time, and the best you come up with is Patrick. Yes. I don't even know if you're supposed to put a K on it, but we're putting a K on it. Because this character is not supposed to be the most intelligent in the world, so every time I answer a phone call, I can just say, yes, this is Patrick. Anyway. Gender, I think... I love that there's only two. Gender, it's kind of... It does make some difference. I know people are going to get pissy about that, but from what I understand, there is a difference. I don't think it's in stats. It's more about social place, or social interaction. In the game, there's seduction. Use the art of seduction. Unlike what Zap Brannigan preaches to men, seduction's rather useless for men. On the other hand, if you're a female character, seduction is quite a bit better, because you can seduce a lot of people, whereas a man, you can't really seduce a whole lot of people. I don't even know if you can seduce men as a man. But as a woman, you can seduce a bunch of women, so I mean, you can tell what the creator's interests were. We're going to be playing a male Bruja because I don't plan on seducing a bunch of people. Excuse me, but if you want to see what female Bruja looks like, she's kind of cute. But we're going to be going with the male Bruja because I have an easier time, connecting with a male character on a screen than I would a female. So, here's where things are gonna get technical, and I'm probably going to screw up horrifically my character, excuse me again, in some way or another. Now this, if you're a veteran of the game, you're probably gonna go, yeah, this guy screwed up terribly, because I probably will. Now, I have a general idea what I want my character to be. He's gonna be a melee kind of guy. So, I would imagine I want strength. Now, if I understand the way the stats work in this, yeah, my unarmed's 4, my melee's 3. Unarmed, helps with the brawl ability, which I'm not sure what that does. Brawl is important for the unarmed, which also makes it easier to feed on the unwilling. There's just so much stuff here I don't really understand. I tried to research a little bit, but I didn't want to go too much into it. But yeah, feeding, generally you don't want to do it in front of people. Unless you're in like a combat area, I think, and then you can kind of do it willy-nilly, because they're trying to kill you, and that's fine, but we'll be getting into that more so in the actual game. So we don't have any more physical... I think the more points that you have in something, the more expensive it is to upgrade, so it's worth it to kind of like, I don't want to say specialize, this is all, take this for a grain of salt, with a grain of salt, I don't know this, but... Excuse me again, I am sorry, I'm coughing a lot. That if you try and spread everything out, you'll actually lose points in the long run. But this is like guesswork. I don't really know that. Now, as for the social attributes, we're going to be going horizontal and then down. For the social attributes, I only have 1 point because Bruja apparently are not the most social creatures in the world. I don't know what these do, so let me look. That's for persuasion. That's for haggle. That sounds like it's terrible. And for the artist, we're going with charisma. Damn it! I can't Well, I've already met my first roadblock. Damn it, Kiff. Oh, that goes for across all of them. So I could... Like, what? I don't... oh. Okay. Okay, so there's no... Okay, no, I get it. I was looking at the wrong number. I thought this was, like, for all of them. No, that's just for, like, the numbers... Okay, I'm stupid. Like I said, it's my first real time playing this. Please don't get too angry at my failings. I'm going to have to read these, see what they do. So, yeah. Improves defense and hacking. I would imagine hacking is rather important. If it's like anything like a lot of RPGs where you can find additional stuff in like, computer terminals or lockpicking or lockers or stuff like that. Research and intimidate. I don't care about intimidate, but I don't know if research is good. Research sounds like it would be good if it's anything like Fallout, where if you have intelligence, you gain points from reading books. I don't know if it works that way or not. Perception is absolutely useless for this character. So I'm leaning toward wits or intelligence. I don't know which one to pick. I think defense would be good for a guy kind of running into the middle of everything, so I'm kind of going that way. I have a 2 in defense. Woo! So let's see, brawl, dodge. I don't need intimidation or subterfuge, so how many do I have a 6 in unarmed if I do that. And a 3 in defense. This, I don't know if I'm screwing myself hard or not, but like, I might be like one of the better combat characters, but I'm gonna be like, dirt in conversation. Firearms? Hell no. Melee? Oh, I like melee, but I get 2 points. I like that security, though. That helps lockpicking. But I like my melee. Because I do want to use melee weapons later in the game. It's just, do I want to put points in... Okay, before I finalize, I'm going to go this over anyway. Let's see, computer. Helps with hacking. Finance. Ew. Ew. Scholarship. Let's see. Research. By the way, if you haven't noticed, when you mouse over things, if you look over here on the right, things highlight. So it kind of tells you what each thing goes after. So I'm like not reading the bottom. Research and persuasion. I think that could be good. So it's either computer, which only gives you hacking. I'm going to go scholarship on this one. If you're wondering what that crackling noise is, my headset kind of makes that noise whenever I move in the slightest bit. I cannot help it. This headset's kind of old. I could bring up my Blue Yeti, but let's face it, that's a long... Actually, I guess it's not a long arch, I'm just freaking lazy. Now, the disciplines, I have no clue what to pick here. World will seem to slow while you remain unaffected. All but the first level, which I assume is this, are obvious supernatural acts, and using them in safe areas is a violation of the Masquerade. Ooh. Put supernatural strength into brawl and melee attacks that simply cannot be defended against. I like that sound. All levels of potence cost 1 blood per activation. Carries no risk of violating the Masquerade. Why would I need to use that in a safe area to begin with? What's presence? Can strike mortal fear into the hearts of their opponents, reducing effectiveness. Potent presence carries no risk. So it sounds like celerity's like really good, but if you do it in a bad place, you could screw yourself. I think if you also lose a lot of points in the Masquerade, you can also be like targeted by vampire hunters. So, that's kind of a no-no. Adds 2 points of supernatural strength to all melee and brawl attacks. Cannot be defended against. Level 2 speed enhancement. Level 1. Okay, it's just like what different levels are. I don't know which one to pick here. I've heard people say celerity is really good. But potence just sounds like just smash things. I'm going to go with potence first. I don't think that's a good idea, but I'm going to try it. So let me overlook this one more time before we get going here. Auto level is off, thank God. I might... Some people have said put another point in dexterity. But I don't see a point to it that only helps lockpicking and sneaking. Lockpicking, I can see why you'd want to do that. Sneaking, I'm not really a sneaky character in this. At least I'm not going for it. Stamina ups your bashing resistance, which, what is that? That's... Shrug off damage from bullets and blunt melee. Probably important for a melee character, but I'm not doing that. Defense is... avoid taking damage of all types in combat. I guess I'm going for a more broad defense thing. I have a 1 in bashing anyway. I guess that's fine for now. Hopefully I'm not screwing myself too hard with this, but I think I've done a pretty decent job with the character select screen, or the character sheet. I'm going for more of an offensive melee build. In the beginning, I think I should be pretty good, with 6 unarmed and 5 melee, but I guess we'll see how that goes later on. I just don't want to be caught at the end game going, I can't kill the final boss! Because I heard people, I don't know what the final boss is, but I heard people say, if you don't have a lot of combat things, you kind of, screw yourself sideways if you don't have the right character build, so I'm going to try and prevent that when I can. Also, for the 90 minutes I did play this, I remember when I think I played a Tremere, my first character. And I kept getting, your brawl skill's too low, or whatever it is. I couldn't feed off people in combat, so I'm trying to keep that to a minimum with my unarmed. So, yeah. Let's go, Patrick. We're going to be watching the cutscenes for the record. Oh, that's nice.
I want to show you something.
I guess that's what happens when you bring, okay, well, at least they're using lube. And pills. I don't think those were birth control pills, though. I think those were recreational pills. Dude's ripped. That's nice. Well, at least it was a Malkavian. That did me in, I guess.
Good evening. My fellow kindred, my apologies for disrupting any business or interfering with prior engagements you may have had this evening. It's unfortunate that the affair that gathers us together tonight is a troubling one. We are here because the laws that bind our society, the laws that are the fabric of our existence, have been broken. As prince, I am within my rights to grant or deny the kindred of this city the privilege of siring. Many of you have come to me seeking permission, and I have endorsed some of these requests. However, the accused that sits before you tonight was not refused permission. Indeed, my permission was never sought at all. They were caught shortly after the embrace of this child. It pains me to announce the sentence, as up to tonight I considered the accused a loyal and upstanding member of our organization. But as some of you may know, the penalty for this transgression is death. Know that I am no more adjudicator than I am a servant to the law that governs us all. Let tonight's proceedings serve as a reminder to our community that we must adhere to the code that binds our society, lest we endanger all of our blood. Forgive me. Let the penalty commence. Which leads to the fate of the ill-begotten progeny. Without a sire, most childer are doomed to walk the earth never knowing their place, their responsibility, and most importantly, the laws they must obey. Therefore, I have decided that
this is bullshit!
if Mr. Rodriguez would let me finish. I have decided to let this kindred live. They shall be instructed in the ways of our kind and be granted the same rights. Let no one say I am unsympathetic to the plights and causes of this community. I thank you all for attending these proceedings, and I hope their significance is not lost. Good evening. Your sire, tragic, my apologies. But you see, there is a strict code of conduct that all of us must adhere to if we wish to survive. When anyone breaks these laws, they undermine the well-worn fabric of our centuries-old society. Understand my predicament. Allowing you to live makes me directly responsible for your subsequent behavior. So, what I'm offering is not generosity, but the opportunity to transcend the fate woven by your sire. This is your trial. You will be brought to Santa Monica. There you will meet an agent by the name of Mercurio. He will provide the details of your labor. I've shown you great clemency. Prove it was more than a wasted gesture, fledgling. Don't come back until you do. Good evening.
Well, that was unexpected. I expected to die right before they even started. Okay, this I'm gonna have to pay attention to because little I remember I had a bit of trouble actually getting around and doing things. Let's see, default view key is Z, first and third, okay. But yeah, this was the character creation video. The next one is going to be, let me save real quick here. The next one is going to be, no, we're going to be calling this Patrick. No, we're not calling it Patrick Special Tutorial. Could name it Patrick Special, but let's not make fun of the man. Anyway, that's going to be it for the character creation video. Next time we're going to get into the tutorial, and you better believe I'm going to be doing the tutorial because I'm going to need it. Because I tried the tutorial before, and in one particular place I failed repeatedly. Hopefully I won't do so this time. Excuse me again, so hopefully I shall see you Saturday. Farewell until then.